You are Nick Valentine, your eyes open to a sterile lab, aware that you are a machine. But instead of logical programming taking over, your hard drive immediately floods with panic and a crushing desperate grief for a fiancé you never actually loved. This timeline illustrates the progression of the Institute's artificial intelligence. It starts with Gen 1, basic mindless plastic mannequins, and ends with Gen 3, flesh and blood infiltrators. In the middle sits the anomaly, the Gen 2.5, an awkward experimental bridge between the two. The scientists responsible for this prototype bypass standard programming entirely. They simply scrape the brain scan of a dead pre war detective, dump the file into your hard drive, wipe their hands clean, and abandon the project. You are a discarded corporate tech dump, a Frankenstein monster cobbled together from cheap plastic and stolen human memories. You are now thrown out, discarded. The radioactive wasteland serves as an unforgiving, unmonitored beta test for your prototype. Attempting to engage with humanity yields immediate violent results. If you approach a passing caravan to ask for directions or simply try to say hello, you receive a shotgun blast to the chest. You navigate the Commonwealth armed with desperate human empathy and a hardwired desire to connect eternally, trapped inside a chassis that the surviving population sees as an abomination. Surviving your early years in the dirt proves a brutal rule. Possessing human feelings inside a mechanical body doesn't earn you any humanity. It simply makes you a target. Eventually, you stumble your way into the Diamond City. The only reason the guards don't scrap you on sight is because you walk into a hostage situation and successfully rescue the mayor's kidnapped daughter. To carve out a functional identity, you lean into the dead man's memories. You don a worn out trench coat, pull down a fedora, holster a rusty revolver, and formally adopt the persona of a private detective. You set up a dusty office, hire a human assistant named Ellie, and start taking jobs. Solving missing person cases and recovering stolen goods gives you a fleeting sense of purpose in the city. Then the Institute's favorite cybernetic hitman, Conrad Kellogg, crosses your path, and the main plot of the Commonwealth kicks down your door. Your detective agency is exposed as a temporary distraction. The moment you step outside the city gates, the Commonwealth reminds you that you are a walking, talking, stolen property. Looking at the schematic of a Gen 2.5 torso, we see two reasons why they consider you garbage and a discarded prototype. Your synthetic skin cannot heal. Instead of scarring, it tears and rots, exposing rusted metal, failing hydraulic tubes, and a gaping hole in your face. While the physical hardware fails, the software runs a cooler simulation. Every night, your system forces you to dream about the nuclear bombs dropping in 2077. These are artificially installed traumas looping endlessly. You spend your entire life mourning a woman who died over 2 centuries ago, entirely because her memory is tied to a copyrighted software program you cannot uninstall. The only mechanical benefit to this agonizing daily existence is an immunity to radiation poisoning. The Institute scientists perfectly engineered a prison of artificial psychological suffering and then trapped it inside a rotten physical cage. Because you are the only Gen 2.5 prototype to ever exist, you face absolute supply chain failure. There are zero replacement parts left in the world. Without spares, your physical degradation becomes a mathematical certainty. You cannot heal, you cannot be fixed by a mechanic, and you cannot be upgraded. Eventually, your internal gears will grind down to dust, your memory banks will corrupt, and your visual sensors will permanently fade to black. You operate as a dead man's ghost, trapped inside a decaying robotic shell. The detective work serves as an obsessive coping mechanism. It's a desperate need to fix external, tangible problems because you are entirely broken internally. You spend your remaining days solving everyone else's mysteries, fully aware that your fate is sealed and you can never fix your own.